So Riptide Electric just announced a new extended range RX battery and their new R1X board. And to summarize, it's an amazing upgrade to the existing Riptide boards. At a retail price of $299, the new RX battery can increase your range up to around 14 miles while also giving you a new increase in top speed by 2 miles per hour relative to the board you're upgrading from. This allows your Riptide R1 to reach speeds of 20 miles per hour and your R1 Elite to reach 22 miles per hour, making it faster than the boosted Mini X. All this and the new battery only increases your board's weight by half a pound. So the board will still be relatively light and portable. As expected, your charging time will also end up increasing from 3.5 hours to 5.5 hours on the standard charger and from 1.5 hours to 3 hours on the fast charger. So you have to keep track of your mileage because you wouldn't want to be stuck 14 miles from home with an empty battery. So Riptide sent me one of their prototype RX batteries for me to install and test out. Installation was pretty easy, and you can watch my installation tutorial in a separate video, link in the description. But since it was a prototype, I did run into some issues with the board at first, but Riptide quickly fixed and resolved all those problems and assured that it would not happen in the production units. But if you do want to hear more about this, let me know in the comments. As for its actual performance, it definitely reaches and in some cases exceeds the specifications I mentioned earlier. In a speed test, my GPS tracking said I reached a top speed of 24 miles per hour, but was steady at 22 miles per hour. While I most likely didn't actually hit 24 miles per hour due to GPS inaccuracies, I think it's safe to say that the board is definitely capable of doing 22 miles per hour. In a range test, my tracking app actually said I reached about 14.7 miles while still having a little bit of charge left, meaning my board was actually just beeping at me and I still had a bit of power to use. But it did exceed that 14-mile advertised range. Keep in mind, I am pretty light at around 120 pounds, so this might affect your range if you're heavier. As for voltage sag, you still do feel voltage sag after your battery drops to a certain level, but it definitely feels less drastic than the standard battery's voltage sag from before. There were a lot of complaints about that, but it definitely is a lot better. In addition, since this is an extended range battery, you get a lot more range now where you don't see any sag at all compared to the standard, so you end up having more to ride while not worrying about your sag. So charging the battery does take a lot more time. As I mentioned, it did take me about 3 hours to charge it full after my range test. Finally, the increase in weight is barely noticeable, especially with Riptide's built-in handles. It's so much easier to carry this board than other boards. So for $300, you can upgrade your existing R1 or R1 Elite to a worthy competitor of Boosted Board's counterpart, the Mini S and Mini X. With the battery upgrade, your Riptide can go faster and farther than the Boosted Mini X. And the battery upgrade really does make your board feel completely new. And this is actually pretty accurate because with this upgrade, you essentially get the same specs as the new Riptide R1X board that I mentioned before. And if you don't have any Riptide boards right now, you can actually buy the Riptide R1X board for $899 or $809 if you use my discount code Brandon-10 for a 10% off discount code. But this video isn't about the R1X, but visually that board does look awesome and comes with a lot of other upgrades other than the battery, so I recommend checking that out if you're interested in a short, portable, and fun board. And I have reviewed the Riptide R1 before in the past, so if you'd like to watch that as reference, all relevant links, including that and of what I've talked about in the rest of the video, can be found in the description. But that's basically it for this video. If you have any questions at all, let me know in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see some more e-skate content. Also follow me on Instagram if you want to see some extra e-skate pictures, content, other photography. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.